education. And that's how my political journey started. Amplified just at the introduction of multi-party democracy. Even when I was in secondary school, we were used as young people to mobilize the young people towards the introduction of multi-party democracy. And boom, we're here. There are a number of things that have happened in between.
Yes.
We may not have all the time to discuss.
No.
But since the subject is about politics, we got involved into this thing over 30 years ago. And we're still marching and hopeful that our little contribution at every stage, even in the future, will be able to help to shape the future of this country in such a way that our children and the generations to come will still march on the path towards a progressive, continuous progressive path economically and politically.
Wonderful. Honorable, many people believe that the PF is currently fragmented and lacks a unified voice. I wanted to ask you, as PF Secretary General, are you the right person to unite the party, and what proof can you show of progress so far?
Well, I don't think we can even be asking such questions from a personal perspective. Yes, my office is critical to have certain things resolved within the party. But I think PF's philosophy has always been that the collective effort on every front is the one that achieves the desired results. First of all, we have held the party together, regardless of the clear attempt by UPND to destabilize the party. But credit is given to the ordinary members of Patriotic Front that from 2021, when everybody thought that there will be a migration, en masse of our people to UPND, that has not been witnessed. UPND has been desperate to see PF disintegrate. They have made all manner of efforts, including the saga of the October 24th, where one of our colleagues and friend, Mao Sampa, was a bit adventurous by holding, some kind of a conference, which he called a retreat. But I think along the way, emotionally got excited and called it a conference. And what looked like a joke, eventually he started enjoying the fact that now people are calling him Mr. President. The good thing is that obviously he has realized that what happened was injurious not only to the party but also to democracy, because you destroy the main opposition, you are basically assaulting, the nation's democracy. Now, from October 23 to today, apart from the fact that there was a state-sponsored process to change office bearers at the registrar, the members of PF have remained intact, owing to not only the strong leadership insofar as my office is concerned. And I think it's important to credit the likes of Honorable Gideon Winda, to credit the likes of Nixon Chilangwa, to credit the Central Committee, members of Parliament, council chairpersons and mayors, councillors, and the leadership from the province going down at provincial level, who have kept the fort to make sure that every effort from Misaka in the Ichlema found PF insulated. The only thing Misaka in the Ichlema remained with was the criminal enterprise around the Registrar of Society. We had a professional lady in Mrs. Mende, who was Registrar of Society, who put her foot down and said we cannot allow this illegal attempt to change office bearers. Of course, she was forcefully removed from office. So after that, the police and others have been used to try and protect what they thought would work towards causing the PF to disintegrate. But as we speak today, I think we must all be appreciative that the opposition, as PF, as well as generally, we have remained, vigilant, robust in our provision of checks and balances, even when the environment has become extremely toxic, whether it is in Parliament, whether it is the abuse of the police in stopping us from gathering. From when Misaka Indechina became president, we have not been able to have a political party allowed to have a proper rally, for example. We attempted ourselves as PF a few times to have rallies. You saw how...
I've seen some rallies here and there.
I don't know, apart from 2 or 3 rallies that were organized by, Harry Calabar.
Then there was one, I think, it must have been by the SP or something in the Copper Belt.
The reason why you are not able to remember is because there hasn't really been a meaningful engagement in public address, in public gathering by the opposition. The SP attempted, but they were disrupted. So the position is that we have remained united regardless of all the efforts and the abuse of the machinery in all its facets to destabilize
as
the
well
opposition.
you're mentioning some very important things that I want to go back to. At one point you said that there was this state-sponsored enterprise to disintegrate the PF.
Yes.
Most of us hear it like that, but like, is there some sort of where you get that information? Is there any proof? Is there any anywhere where you get that information where you're convinced that the state sponsors? I don't know if Mao Sampa is one of them. I don't know if Chavinga is also one of them.
First of all, with Mao Sampa at least having engaged and reconciled, the information that we have now come to learn is that obviously he himself was being adventurous. He never realized that that effort that he was undertaking will interest UPND to the extent of them beginning to aid. Even him was shocked. It's like you are doing something for yourself, not knowing that you are actually giving an opportunity to the enemy. All of a sudden, he just saw that the state were interested to provide security, at a so-called conference of just less than, 200 people. The whole entire police battalion with all those armored vehicles came to protect that whole process. That's when he dawned on him that it looks like, yeah, of course, it was beneficial for him because he could not, the members of PF could not react in a manner that he thought they would react because they had that state, process. And when I say reacting, is even to politely stop him from having that exercise. Before long, now the state are the ones who are inviting, can you bring your office bearers quickly so that we can take fingerprints? On the 24th of October, which was Independence Day, which was a holiday, in the night by following morning, Mr. Miambango, who was Deputy IG, remember he announced that they had already cleared fingerprints and they had submitted them to the Registrar Society. That never happens. That's evidence enough because when a normal due process is undertaken, after a conference, for example,
yes,
it is expected that a formal written communication to registrar would be made after maybe 2 weeks or so because of the fact that there's a process of having those who have been elected, if they have not had their fingerprints cleared, and the process of clearing fingerprints is not an hourly exercise. You expect it to take at least a minimum of maybe 3 to 7 days or 2 weeks. But how is it that within a few hours, in the night, when people are expected to have knocked off, the fingerprints have been cleared? That's evidence number one, that this is staged situation. Further on, how is it that the Registrar of Society, the Registrar herself, when she said that this is illegal, she was fired, removed forcefully from the office, and the pronouncement of Jack Mwimbo, pronouncements of Akafumba, not only about PF, Akafumba and Levi Ngoma was the political advisor to the president. There is an audio of them saying we're going to use the Registrar of Society to dismember, some of the members of a political party. I think that time they were talking of Ali Karava. They were even talking about how they're going to deal with Shindano, the CEO or executive director at ECZ. That audio up to today has not been disputed. They tried to say it is not genuine, it's not fake. I mean, it is fake. The usual mockery that Zambians are subjected to when they are caught pants down. So that is basically what we're subjected to. They said, no, as far as we're concerned, PF, the conference for them they had accepted and tried to legitimatize the whole thing.
Let us move. I'll come back to that. The PF under the opposition alliance has recently participated in several by-elections and has only managed to win one. You can correct me if I'm mistaken, the Petaoke Central Parliament seat. With this dismal performance, Honorable, is there any hope, real hope for the opposition come 2026?
First of all, before I answer the question, I want just to draw your attention to historical facts. Whether it is under MMD, because maybe some of you were too young to remember the UNIP era, MMD was winning by-elections, even in areas where Patriotic Front was very strong at the time towards 2011. And they would win convincingly. But when it came to 2011 elections, MMD was beaten pants down. PF, a government that I belonged to, I was even a minister,
Yes.
would win by-elections in Western Province and other places where UPND was very strong. But when it came to 2021, the situation was different. The trend that should give you hope that definitely the desires, not only of you, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think all those who are feeling the pain of economic hardships as a result of the misgovernance of UPND have resolved that in 2026 UPND must go. What they are just seeking for is a proper platform, vehicle they will use to express their wish. And in this case, they are asking questions about PF. When you look at the results in Kawambwa, because that's the first time that PF participated in the by-election, meaning through a special purpose vehicle called the NCP under Tonsa. When you look at the results, we were getting more than 50% of the results, even when there is voter apathy, because people have just given up. We can't go and participate in this sham by-election because they are coming at the back of people having been locked up and sent to jail. And people are angry. You understand? So that is already a sign that come the general elections, the opposition will win. Look at Rumezi.
If people are angry that they are coming at the back of people sent to jail, shouldn't they now show the UPND like, no, we're still going to vote in a candidate of our choice?
That's why I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. The people are angry and were determined to show that, but they are beaten into submission. The level of violence that UPND take in this by-election, with the concentrated effort of all the government machinery, it's impossible to have ordinary people in one locality to be able to resist and fight back a machinery where, for example, we have people from Southern Province, people from all these provinces, plus the police that is, clearly operating in favor of the ruling party because of the intimidation and also how people are, fired out of their position for just expressing some kind of objectivity. So whether it was in Kawambwa, in Pambashe, the results for those who know politics will tell you that the opposition are on the verge of winning the next election. Look at Rumezi. Rumezi, we adopted a candidate 3-4 days before there was a big, setback, a devastating setback of having lost our leader, the former President Edgar Chagalungu. Morally, it was impossible for the Secretary General, members of Central Committee, Honorable Winda, MPs, to be found campaigning while we were mourning. So the candidate himself remained alone, practically, in Rumezi, without anybody supporting him. Resource-wise, all of us focused on the big issue that has emerged, which we have not yet sorted out up to this particular time. We have not put to rest our leader. But he still got, about 6,501 or something votes against 11,000. That's over 50%.
So the loss in Lumezi is largely because of the funeral?
The loss, practically you have the entire machinery of UPND, 3 choppers of government, and the ECZ that is playing Mingarato. They even go there and find that the ballot papers, which they had printed, had all the errors that would warrant a postponement of the election. They decided to proceed. We don't even know how, for example, they were able to bring in new ballot papers within 24 hours. Was it an issue where they played some game around the ballot papers? Because the ones they brought after 24 hours, nobody inspected. There was no opportunity for them to have stakeholders verify that these ballot papers are equal to the numbers expected in terms of the voter registers. All those factors put in place only shows that that whole election was not free and fair. That's how come we, as Tonse and as the Patriotic Front, we have chosen that they be petitioned and these matters are in court.
So you're petitioning the Mfue...
the
Lumezi by-election?
Yes.
Okay. How have the ongoing internal disputes within the PF worked to the party's disadvantage, especially during this conversation, the elections?
I think the so-called disputes, they are neither here nor there. Because, for example, with Mao Sampa, one of the reasons for which Mao Sampa agreed for us to reconcile and negotiate, his own confession, if you go to the video, tell you he has been traversing the country. Everywhere he went, they told him, "Mwana uliweka muli ifurechta, welela ku family." The only thing is that he has proven to everybody, which is not a weakness and I think a strength, he has proven to everybody that even when he was in the wrong, I think the greatest value of a person is that when you are in the wrong, you realize. Had he continued to pursue the route he was taking, maybe would have been judging differently. But he listened to what the people are saying according to him, and he came to the forward and said, "Colleagues, let's resolve this issue." Okay? Chavinga, who people want to credit and suggest that he is leading a faction, it's nonsensical. Chavinga is a tool in the pocket of Hakainde Hichilema with evidence out there. First of all, before even the embarrassing audios that came, which have come out now, the president, carried Chavinga to many state functions. He's visiting Kasama or Northern Province. He's with Chavinga from the plane. He's telling him, before cameras, Kosafie Mwaiche Kosa. Just continue on the path. Continue on which path? Because he has been made leader of opposition illegally, and he was now projecting himself that I'll take over the leadership if Mao Sampa does not deliver to you, Mr. President. Deliver what to the president? If it is about the opposition political party, it's to deliver PF to Hakainde Hichilema. So, Chavinga is a society misfit who Hakainde Hichilema is actually taking a risk to even associate with him. Already he has been embarrassed as a result of associating with that boy.
I will come back to the embarrassment that's going to the president as a result of his association with Chavinga, according to you. I will come back to that. I have two questions. You just said he was made leader of the opposition illegally.
Yes.
How is a leader of the opposition picked, and how was he found there? How was Honorable Chavinga found there?
Because we have a polarization of parliament, the speaker is expected to follow the law which they enact in that house. And the law is very clear, including the Concourt has made a ruling that the speaker cannot become selective on how a leader of opposition is supposed to be chosen. They're just supposed to be given a notification or correspondence from the party. When Mao Sampa undertook to do the exercise he took, we went to court and applied for a stay, which was granted. And therefore, the correspondence from Mao Sampa over Chavinga could not have been sustained by the speaker. But the speaker was so excited as to recognize Chavinga quickly that he was leader of opposition, even when matters were in court. Now, when you do an illegality, soon it will catch up with you. What has happened? Mao Sampa, after we reconciled, there was a stay against him when he chose to expel Chavinga and expel Ngona. That stay was eventually vacated by the court. When a stay has been vacated, it means that the decision of the leader at the time, Mao Sampa, is sustained. So as we speak, Chavinga is expelled. What did we do? Because we have reconciled, Mao Sampa recognized that the Secretary General, genuine Secretary General of the party, is Honorable Raphael Nakacinda. He repeated that even in writing, that the Secretary General is Honorable Raphael Nakacinda by the appointment, which people thought was controversial. But from a legal technicality point of view, because the matter had not yet been resolved in court, the only thing we could do is to have him deposit the powers required in the Office of Secretary General to make administrative decisions. Chavinga was expelled. And I communicated to the Speaker that now the leader of opposition is Mao Sampa. You understand? They don't have to draw themselves into our issues. But do you know what the Speaker did? The Speaker says, no, there are matters in court. Court in her own web. The first time, she didn't recognize that there were matters in court. This time around, she changes standards and says the matters are in court and therefore can't recognize Mao Sampa. It is that.
What are the matters that she was referring to right now that are still in court?
The matter that where we have signed the consent between Mao Sampa and ourselves, and that Chavinga has applied for a joinder. Now, applying for a joinder does not change the status quo legally of who the leader is and who should correspond with the speaker. That is what the position is.
So, for now, what should happen? What should happen going forward in terms of the PF, the speaker, and the Honorable Chavinga?
The speaker should just back her off. She's not PF. So she can't start getting involved in the business of PF and even taking it on the floor of parliament. A speaker to start saying, no, you people, you need to solve your problems in PF.
Has the speaker done anything illegal in all this?
Yes.
What
as
has she
we
done?
stand recognizing Chavinga as leader of opposition is illegal. It's illegal. It's against the law. It's against even the ruling of the Concord.
Why are you not taking her to court?
We have gone to court several times. The court makes a pronouncement. These people ignore court rulings.
The court is making pronouncements, and the speaker, the speaker is ignoring the pronouncements from the court.
Are you here?
I'm trying to get it from you, not me. I'm not.
Because in Zambia, you should know that time rulings ya court ya wata wayachi.
I'm trying to get it from you. I'm not here to be the one to make statements. So what you're saying is that the speaker has been ignoring the court pronouncement.
Yeah, of course. If she had respected the Concord pronouncement, she would have done what? She would have respected correspondence from the party that the leader of opposition is Mao Sampa. Just recently, the court ruled that the process of enacting Bill 7, the enacting Bill 7 is unconstitutional and therefore it should be stopped. What did the speaker say? She said the court has no power to stop this process. That's how come everybody's saying, where is she getting this, where is this audacity coming from? To even insult the court in their face that they don't have the power to dictate what happens in parliament. Where is the checks and balances? Before we even talk about the checks and balances from opposition, just a separation of powers where the executive, the judiciary, and parliament are expected to be distinct. The executive are checked by what parliament does. And what parliament does is checked by the judiciary. You understand? And the judiciary also checks the executive. If we have any issues which we feel the executive, led by Hakainde Hichilema, is doing against us as citizens, we go to the judiciary. The moment the judiciary makes a pronouncement, it doesn't matter whether you agree with them or not, that pronouncement is respected. That's how societies become orderly, because at the end of the day, the sacred conscience of our nation that is expected to dispense justice is the judiciary. Now, if the judiciary is disrespected with impunity, remember over Honorable Boma Nusambo and Honorable Malanji's by-election in Kwacha and Kabushi.
Yes.
ECZ attempted to donate to itself powers they don't have by writing a circular that will not allow candidates from PF to feature because they caused the by-election without any pronouncement from court. We went to court and obtained a stay. Bowman, Mananji, they still blocked them. Even when the court had pronounced that this that the ECZ are doing is illegal. Hakainde Hichilema himself, as president, was campaigning in Kabushi, even after there was a pronouncement from the High Court. And then after 2 days, for whatever reason, he decided to come out. He was even saying at the airport, how can a president begin to suggest he doesn't know the wrong he has caused, that he has disobeyed the court order? You understand? That is just to show you the level of impunity within this government. And those are the issues that we are raising. Yeah.
Honorable, thank you. I would like us to move on. 2026 is approaching, yet all these things that we have talked about, some issues are still in court. What happens if your legal matters remain unresolved by 2026? Is there would there be an alternative?
Well, I think we have already decided that we cannot allow the court to be the one to decide who our president is. A political party can't subject its final position on who should be the leader through court processes. I think we are in a democratic society. We have already begun to consider that after our mourning period and we have put to rest our leader, we are going to a central committee chart a way forward. And obviously, a clear position according to our constitution is that we're heading the route of holding a conference. That route or path of going to hold a conference is one that we think is going to cure all these problems. Chabinga, if he really...
I was coming to that actually. Yes,
if Chabinga truly believes he's a member of Patriotic Front, I am saying with every authority at my disposal as Secretary General, positional, moral, and democratic authority, is that Chabinga will be invited if he really believes that he is worth to be the leader of Patriotic Front, to come and participate in that conference. And if he truly wins, he will be respected and actually supported by everybody. So I want to say today that there's a conference that is going to be held and Chabinga will also be invited to come, so that we stop these shenanigans of trying to subject the court to unnecessary political interference, especially looking at the fear that the UPND have. Because the board feared for their lives. Judges are fearing for their lives and their jobs. You can see from the hesitation to handle the PF issue. How is it that when it comes to matters that leaders at personal level seem agitated, whether it's in the subordinate court, when you go as a PF leader, the majors are like, this matter needs to move fast. It's like there's an invisible hand somewhere that is pushing to say, if you don't hear this matter, you'll be misunderstood. But when it comes to a PF institutional issue, it has dragged for more than 2 years. We're going to 3 years. We have written to the Chief Justice, we have written to other stakeholders, and our letters and the correspondence have fallen on deaf ears. The answers we get are just technical answers, mundane answers. My hands are tight. I can't interfere. You understand what I'm saying? And we know we live in the same environment. When such answers are coming, just know that basically there is some invisible hand that people are afraid of.
Do you think if you invite Honorable Robert Nakacinda to Chabinga to come to the convention, he will come? Another question I also have is, do you think at his own liberty is willing to create a convention that should happen and you have all of you invited?
I don't think I can enter in Chabinga's mind and heart to determine whether he will be willing to come or not. The only thing I can do myself is to state a principled position. And that principled position is either somebody respects principle or they disrespect principle. The principled position is that PF is a democratic political party. Anybody who desires to lead it must not come through a shortcut and through Mingarato. There is a transparent process to which all the leaders within PF that are eligible will be given an opportunity to express themselves and convince the members and convince the Zambian people by extension that they are worth considering for leadership. So if Chabinga believes he's a leader worth his salt, he will be, he will be willing to come.
He said that after the burial, you should not see any of you at the Secretariat. Is it something that you're willing to obey?
Well, those threats to obey from Chabinga,
yes,
it's an insult even to ask that question. For you to even suggest that I should respond to a society misfit is threat. A self-confessed criminal. I should then be responding whether I should go to secretary and so on. I mean, let's have this is a national matter. National matters we're discussing. And in Zambia, journalists, please, let's up the game. Even to have Chabinga become a topic for almost 15 minutes, we are reduced.
Honorable, I would like to point out to you that the way you are a critic to some people, right? You are a critic to people like even the president and a lot of people.
Yeah.
you will expect other people to be critics. And
Yes.
those people have the potential to create a narrative out there
Yes.
that you would not agree with.
Yes.
So if a journalist or a person like me gives you a platform, it's for you to clear the path and correct the narrative. So if you are going to say, I can't be asked that question, you are tolerating those narratives that are being created out there to go the way they are. So
No,
it's
Mr.
your job, sir,
Mr.
is to correct the narrative and move.
Mr. Pire, even refusing to answer about the Chavinga, I'm correcting the narrative.
They're giving credence to the narratives out there.
No.
Because you're letting them, because that's what people are talking about. You're letting them go the way they are. But
No,
if you say, the correct position is this, then we move.
Mr. Piri, if I refuse to talk to somebody because I think they are society misfit, I'm already correcting a narrative. Even refusing is correcting the narrative. If I think that Chavinga is not worth discussing because what he's doing is nonsensical, if I discuss this fellow all the time, I'm giving him credence. You understand? That's the perspective.
He's not even the major topic right now, Honorable.
And,
Honorable, and I'd like us to
and
move.
right now, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Most obliged.
There's a number on the screen. Please make use of it. You can give us a call and talk to Honorable Raphael Nakacinda. He's Patriotic Front Secretary General. There's a lot of things we're discussing. And of course, you could bring in your questions and your contributions. Honorable, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, I saw a statement where they banned the use of party regalia by political parties not participating in specific election. My question to you is, will the PF comply and stay away from using such regalia where it is not permitted?
What the ECZs are trying to do is not anchored on the law. Okay?
It's not what?
Anchored on the law. Okay. We are in an alliance called TONSE. And the different political parties have come and agreed on an electoral pact in relation to by-elections.
Yes.
And have decided that we're not going to feature candidates split from all political parties who are members of TONSE.
Yes.
We resolved we're going to have a special purpose vehicle to which NCP was chosen. So PF is a member of TONSE. And so are other political parties, Christian Democratic Party and other political parties. Okay? Now, when we feature a candidate and PF is going to campaign for that candidate as decided by this alliance, I can't wear NCP regalia as Secretary General. I'm not Secretary General of NCP, I'm Secretary General of PF. So when I go to campaign for this agreed upon candidate, I'll be going there to send a message that as PF, we think this candidate and we're standing with this candidate. How does that become illegal? You understand what I'm saying? They themselves, the UPND, Zaromis herself, the chairperson of ECZ, who's a member of UPND, when they were campaigning together with other political parties in 2021, including in by-elections of Kawamba, Neva Sumba went there as purporting to be MMD president, and he was wearing MMD regalia in a by-election. They didn't find anything wrong with that. Right now, that behavior is just as a result of the fact that UPND is so afraid of PF, so afraid of Edgar Chagwalungu, not only when he was alive, even in death.
I have a question for you, Honorable. With this conversation, I followed Madam Vice President's response in Parliament.
Yes.
Where she read from the electoral process number 35 of 2016.
Yes.
I just want to hear your response. So she read some clause, and one of the clauses she read was 89N. If you allow me, I can read it for you.
Yes.
So this one says a person shall not, on N, being a candidate, use a symbol in the course of an election other than the symbol registered with the Chief Electoral Officer in accordance with the Act and any regulations thereunder, or in the case of any other person, associate any candidate with any symbol in the course of election other than the candidate's registered symbol. I would like to know what your response is on what she read in Parliament. Okay.
So, for example, the symbol NCP and the candidate is a stool. I mean, it's a chair, isn't it?
Yes.
So, to that effect, it says a person. It's not saying about political parties. It's saying a person who's a candidate. You understand?
Yes.
But in this case, this person who's a candidate is lucky to have the support or won the support of not only his own political party, but other political parties. Himself will take the symbol of a chair. Himself, he will wear the regalia of NCP. Himself will be projecting the symbols of the political party he belongs to. But those who come to support him, you can't restrict them. The law doesn't talk about what the other political parties in this alliance should do. It just talks about him. So when we go as PF, I'll be lifting my symbol as a supporter of this candidate, as PF. The candidate will be lifting the chair, maybe that's the way they do it, or you'll be seated to show that this is my symbol. You understand what I'm saying? But we will not go and say, now that we have come to support you, lift a feet. No. Now that we have come to support you, wear PF regalia. No. But us who are supporting him from PF, having agreed in this alliance, you understand? Having agreed in this alliance, you can't stop us from wearing party regalia. That's a principle.
Can I get it from you that you are suggesting the vice president was misleading the nation in the House?
She has misled the nation many times. If people were serious in this country, that woman would have been retired. You understand what I'm saying? She has said many unintelligent things on the floor of Parliament to the embarrassment of the country.
Honorable producer says we have a lot of phone calls. Are we ready? Are we there? Hi there. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, actually, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. How are you? Hello.
Hello. At least
Hello?
I can hear the.
You can hear?
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. Can you get me?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Thank you very much. I would like to know your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Halima. I'm calling you from Lusaka.
What's your name?
Halima.
Halima, please
Yes.
go ahead and talk to Honorable Nakacinda.
Good afternoon to you, sir. I just wanted to find out if Mao Sampa is still eligible to stand as PF president.
Okay.
Yes.
Am
Okay.
I able to engage her?
Yes.
My dear sister,
Yes, sir.
the processes about candidature and Mao Sampa standing, like I said, there is going to be a transparent process. I've even gone to an extent of saying this democratic process, even Chabinga will be invited. If he thinks he's worthy, being a leader, he will come and contest. So if we can extend even to Chabinga, what of Mao Sampa, who was even reconciled with the party and who have even a consent judgment? So to us, reconciliation means that all other atrocities that may have been, allotted to him and would warrant punitive measures, by the word itself called reconciliation, it means that we are starting afresh. And to that effect, I can tell you he's eligible if he so desires, to offer himself for leadership.
Thank you so much for that clarity.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. There's a number on the screen. You could use it to give us a call. And, if you have any contributions or any questions for the PF Secretary General, you could come through. Hi there. Good afternoon. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. How are you?
Very fine. Thank you. Your name and where you calling us from?
This is Honorable Nakacinda. Good morning. Good afternoon, Ade.
Good afternoon. Said Honorable
Honorable
Mukosa.
from
Yes.
Chinsali.
No, from Lusaka here.
You are honorable for what?
What is the way the honorable means?
No, you can just
It's
explain to
not
us.
just- I wanted to say
We don't waste time on it. Just explain and then ask your question, please.
Yes. Comrade, I want to correct the narrative which Nakacinda is trying to drive at, where he's blaming you journalists to say you are asking him about Chabinga. Chabinga and Raphael Nakacinda are in the same WhatsApp group. What Chabinga is doing to PF today is what Nakacinda did to MMD then when they lost the power. There's no difference. He is one of the people that destroyed and killed UMMD to the extent where it is today. There's no difference. So for him to start making a rubbish what Chabinga is doing today, he's just putting himself in that same shoe to say, I'm also in that same WhatsApp. How can he be saying the vice president has been misleading the House when we have just read just one article. Read all the articles that the vice president read in that house. Then you will understand that what they are doing and what is, if it really the UPND and other political parties did that. It is only that the people that were in charge then, they never respected the rules. And we saw it in the street of Lusaka, where people are being happy, everything was done, everything that was reported to the law was wrong.
I'm asking if we can conclude. We can conclude.
Yes, I'm concluding. Nakacinda, don't you think when you come on a podium like that one, you are talking to the ex-commanders of PF? There is people that are listening who are well invested when it comes to these issues that you are talking about. Don't try to mention that PF is a problem because of other people. You are the problem yourself. You have failed to handle PF. That's why you continue clinging to Edgar Lungu. Even when he retired, you have to go him back so that you will continue. You cannot survive politically by Edgar Lungu. This part is going nowhere. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Seems to be having an international caller. Let me see if I can add them here. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Paul. I'm calling from Germany.
You're calling us from Germany. Your name is Paul?
Yes, please.
You may go on, please.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Honorable Nakacinda a question because he was talking about the process of allowing the process of where they will go for the conference and everyone will be allowed, and even Honorable Chavinga will be allowed to contest. But then my question is, invited, yes, to contest. So in another sense, he was talking about Honorable Chavinga being suspended from the party. So how would that happen? Would the suspension be lifted for him to be invited to come and participate or contest, or how would that legality be handled by the party? Since on one end he talked about Honorable Chavinga being suspended from the party.
Maybe I can engage him since you're still
okay, so since you're still here, maybe he can engage you. Yeah.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah, sure.
There are two sides to the issue we are dealing with. There is a question of how do you resolve these matters, the fact that they are still in court and they have not been resolved. And I think the reality that I've presented is that would have loved the judiciary to have dispensed of these matters a long time ago, so that it is very clear. But as it stands, because the court has not been able to pronounce itself on clear issues relating to the party, the only other solution is for us to go to the conference. And because there is this matter which is pending in court and has not been resolved, we will invite Chavinga because he is surviving on the straw of having these matters delayed. We are not compromising on the position of the law. The law is very clear that what happened on the 24th of October 2023 was illegal, and that we have presented to the courts. And the courts have not been able to be helpful for the past 2 years and some months. Now we are going towards 2026. Are we going to continue waiting? The only way to resolve it is to invoke now the democratic process within the party, to which in this case, regardless of the misconduct of Chavinga and so on, let him come and test his popularity within the party through that process. So not that we are condoning or we are changing our position. We're just saying, if the court doesn't pronounce itself by tomorrow, by the other day, and Chavinga is still holding on to that legal technicality, we will then have to resolve it through a democratic process. Basically, that is what I was saying.
So in short, his suspension will be lifted?
Listen, it's not even about pronouncing ourselves as whether suspension is lifted or not. We have a dispute in court. Remember, we had a dispute with Mao Sampa first. But for Mao Sampa, the nobility of the process is that Mao Sampa was coming to the table to reconcile. But the unfortunate part is that Chavinga has not come to the table to deal with that matter. So if we can't talk, we can't reconcile and resolve these issues. There's only one platform that the members of the party have to have a say on these matters, and that is the conference. So the members of the party will be able to put a final verdict whether to elect him or to elect another leader.
So that those... Paul, just hold on. Maybe let me add on what Paul is saying. Honorable, can an expelled member participate in the convention?
You are not hearing what I'm saying. If it is an expelled member who's out there, there's no dispute in court. There's no question. But at this particular point, the party can be dragged all the way beyond 2026, still lingering in court regardless of whether it's expelled or not. So if that question, the court has not been done what is expected of them to do, the only recourse we have is to appeal to the highest organ of the party, which is the conference. This person, when they are articulating, they will be asked by the members, but this is what you have just subjected the party to, including other candidates. They will be put to scrutiny over their conduct within the party, including Chavinga if he decided to come and participate. But I hope you see the distinction. We have a matter in court which endangers the future participation of PF in the election.
Yes.
And to that effect, if it is not resolved through judicial process, we still hold the responsibility to resolve this. And in resolving this, the answer we see is the conference. And we're going to go to the conference. Now, because he still has this locus on the basis of the matter which is in court, he can only then be fair and just that in the absence of resolving the matter in court, come to the conference also and participate. Will not go there, then he's also making application for a stay to stop the conference because he's not participating. Because that is where the question will come to. I hope you understand, dear brother from Germany.
Are you cleared?
I get part of the legality and his explanation. I just wanted a yes or no, but I get where he's driving at. I get the general idea of the
Okay.
matter.
Paul, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Caller, do you have a caller? Hello? Hello? Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. How are you, sir?
Great, thank you. Name and where are you calling us from?
This is Kufuna Zimba. I'm calling you from Masaiti.
Akufuna.
Kufuna.
Kufuna from Masaiti. You may go on, please.
Thank you, SG. Good afternoon, sir.
Vadisha nuko kumasaiti.
Tulimitende mwani.
Na ifubena tulimitende.
Twatota. My concern is I'll be very brief. I think my word to these politicians is that let's put Zambia's interests at first. There's been a lot of infights between PF and UPND. There is nothing that is so motivating to us, the young ones, from these old politicians. SGC, you've been in MMD, you've been in PF, and today we have UPND ruling as the party in power. Why don't we do justice to this country? Why don't we serve the interests of the nation first than prioritizing our own benefits? As I conclude, I urge you to do the best that is supposed to be done. Show the young politicians, us who are growing up, let us admire to say we are learning something from you people. Otherwise, whatever you guys are doing is nothing that is motivating this country. Thank you so much.
Maybe before you go.
Yes, sir.
Bamvumo.
Lemwani.
Mulelando tuchite prioritize ichalo cha Zambia.
Lemwani.
And the old politicians, and obviously I want to believe you are a new politician or aspiring politician.
I'm a politician, but very new.
Very new, yes. And
yes.
I want to encourage you that
yes.
Don't wait to be inspired in the terraces. Join and be able to, fight for your country so that you can make...
SGC, I'm a councillor right now. I'm in already. That's why I'm making this honest appeal.
Okay, now
For me, it's not about being UPN or being PF, but I'm a patriotic young councillor whose interest is to save Zambia.
Yeah, okay, you have done well to clarify that you're a councillor. And
yes, sir.
To that effect, for example, we have an issue today of
yes, sir.
A FIC report which has demonstrated that over 140 billion
yes, sir.
kwacha has been lost through illicit losses. And you as a councillor in your constituency and ward, this government
yes,
has been boasting that they are giving you 30 million kwacha per year as CDF, so that you as
yes,
a councillor you can deliver development in your ward. When you
Yes.
divide 140 billion, which has been lost from 2023 up to today, 140 billion, we divided by 156 constituencies, you should have been sitting on close to 900 million kwacha in your constituency and maybe more money in your ward. When I speak,
Yes.
if I criticize UPND vigorously against that, am I a wrong politician? I'm supposed to praise Misaka in Dechilema. I'm supposed to use good words against UPND when such things are happening. And you as a councillor, you are being judged of not performing because the resources which are required to be put in your hands are being stolen. And then...
Can I be brief just to respond to that, SG?
Yes.
Because I want to invite other callers. I'm on record, even on my Facebook page, even in the council chamber. Records are straight. Honorable Katambo is my MP. I'm on records not to support everything that the UPND does. I'm a proud UPND, but when UPND is wrong, I'm one of the few that has come in the open and condemned them because my patriotism is to the people of Zambia and not the party.
Most obliged. I would have checked your hands immediately.
What I'm asking, Honorable, as I conclude, because others need to come in, if possible, I'll ask for a number. I'll engage you on your official Facebook. What I'm asking is that I think let's prioritize Zambia. When you come out and criticize this government, objectively, I have no problem with that. But issues of bringing in issues of imbalance in one another, UPND is useless, PF is useless, what and this is what I'm calling is wrong for this nation.
Let us conclude.
Most obliged.
So, Mr. Shosta, thank you so much. I think my word is that we need to do the right thing. Let's prioritize this country above political affiliation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's bring in a caller from Zimbabwe. Hi there. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm calling from Botswana.
Oh, Botswana, rather. Botswana, thank you. Your name, sir?
So this is Apostle Matthews calling from Botswana, but a Zambian.
Okay. Apostle, you may go on and talk to Honorable Nakacinda.
Good afternoon, Honorable Nakacinda.
Good, Apostle. How are you and how's ministry in Botswana?
We are blessed. Thank you. Ministry is going on well. Thank you so much.
Right.
I just have a question for you, Honorable Nakacinda, this afternoon.
Yes.
Some time back, Nadim Fideva Ashon Tembo was on TV. He was talking about the Tonse Alliance, and he made mention that the flag bearer of Tonse must come from the PF political party because it is an anchored political party. So I want to hear from you. Do you still maintain the same position, or we are going to see a situation where after the burial of the sixth Republican president, we may have people from other political parties within Tonse wanting to produce a president from their political party, or everyone that is joining the Tonse knows that the flag bearer must come from the patriotic front? That's the question that I wanted you to clarify on.
Right. Yeah, maybe the answer shortly is that, first of all, the alliance...
Thank you. You can continue listening as the Honorable answers.
Yeah. The alliance is composed of political parties and the civil society organizations and organizations. And the position of our alliance at the moment is that the PF is the anchor political party. It will produce, obviously, the chairman, who in this case, at the time of forming the alliance, President Lungu was chairman, and the flag bearer. It was already established. In this case, first of all, the party will have its own internal processes. Mm-hmm. But I can also indicate to you that within Tonse, there has been, a few times, which has also manifested in the public, that there could be positions that are not very clear in relation to the governing, documents, whether call it constitution or MOU.
Yes.
Which process I think we have had a discussion around reviewing some of those issues. Mm-hmm. But I think for us to be on the equal footing mm-hmm. with our colleagues, especially those that have already had internal processes of choosing their leaders, we as PF have to be given an opportunity to go to the conference, choose a leader.
Elect a leader.
And then not only in Tonse, I think there are also others who are advocating that Tonse must be expanded over and above the members who are there. Then the question that will arise in view of the different considerations and demographics around our politics, it will be able to help us arrive at how we proceed towards 2026 in terms of FRAGBEAR. I think I would not
After
want...
the convention.
After the convention. For us as PF, we maintain our membership and support the unity of Tonse and everything that is happening, but we also reserve the right to be able to undertake our own internal issues to resolve our issues, including choosing who the leader will be replacing our late who has gone to be with the Lord. Okay. So that is basically the process we're undertaking. So I think the apostle must be a bit patient. This is an evolving process, but what we can only assure the Zambian people and everybody who's listening is that we endeavor to make sure that whatever process we undertake will be transparent, there will be no mingrato, there will be no corruption, manipulation, and deceit in the process. Our engagement with our colleagues in Tonse has been from a place of honesty. When we're presenting what we call the rules of engagement from Patriotic Front, we openly presented as PF any relationship we're going to get into. These are the rules of engagement that we're presenting. They may not have been holistically pleasant to some people, but we're ready to present them as they are, anyway, and would expect that that position is respected. If anybody has a counter proposal, they were given an opportunity in time past. But we're also flexible enough that as things evolve, we may possibly have to hear what the views of those that seem to be critical around the rules of engagement. And we're saying that don't go out there and play to the gallery. Come to the table and raise your issues so that we can be able to look at how these matters can be resolved. But practically, we think that after the mourning period, most of these things will be done. And I can tell you, it will call for all of us, especially those of us who are in office. I'm Secretary General of both PF and Tonse Alliance.
Yes.
It will call for us to raise the bar of magnanimity on how we engage with colleagues. There will be sometimes childish behavior, posturing, and doing all kinds of things.
You're expecting that?
I mean, where in a society where you have kids, you have older people, you have all that, and when you say kids, it's not about age. There are people who have, are in a frame of an old man, but they may be kids in their conduct.
We are bracing ourselves for that.
Yeah, so we're going to deal with all those issues.
I want us to move on. And also, I'm asking Honorable in advance, a name that you might not want us to be talking about might be part of the next conversation, but it's really important that we talk about the issue, not really about the person. So, a phone call recording went viral recently, some 2-3 days ago, allegedly featuring the voice of PF faction acting president, Honorable Robert Chavinga, in a conversation with Community Development Minister Doreen Mwamba. The recording suggests Honorable Chavinga's involvement in a government conspiracy regarding former President Lungu's burial. I wanted to find out if you have come across this audio, and also if you believe the audio is a product of artificial intelligence. Sorry, I meant to just ask a question, not to make you laugh.
The suggestion of AI is what has made me to laugh, because I've seen quite some interesting comments in others suggesting AI doesn't at AI taishe tefupa or kuliakasepa and things like that. And AI also refused. I saw somebody making inquiries. AI doesn't speak Bemba and all kinds of things. First of all, I think it has been established that audio was authentic. To even suggest is AI is a mockery to the intelligence of the Zambian people. I think what must be concerned everybody is the content.
Yes, the content, and that's what I asked in the beginning. Let's talk about the content.
Yeah, the content, unfortunately, places the president and the presidency squarely at the center of the criminal enterprise that Chavinga was revealing. Okay? And to that effect, the response from government or from UPND is expected to be a response that will deal with that content. Hamasaka, I listened to an audio on Hot FM that suggested that he can't speak to the genuineness of the audio. But he was disassociating the president from that conversation. But unfortunately, the conversation was held late in the night, after midnight, according to what the audio itself is revealing.
Yes, yes.
Implying that Hamasaka himself could have been enjoying either his sleep or other activities away from the office at that particular hour. So he cannot authoritatively speak to that. The one who should have demonstrated an answer or spoken to it or should speak to it is the president himself. How is it that the first reaction from UPND was to suggest that this is an AI, when everybody analyzed and came to a conclusion that it's genuine? They are trying to retract. I am made aware that even today, possibly you're going to have, Cornelius Muetwa having a press briefing to disown that, to disown Chavinga, and also the Ovazira Sumuwe, who was all over trying to sugarcoat this whole thing. Because they've realized that the way they handle these matters, it is digging the already deep grave, political grave, that they have ushered themselves.
So the question I have also, I have a lot of questions around this. Like you've said, a lot of people have argued that it's very authentic. And that video incriminates the head of state,
Yes.
the president of the Republic of Zambia. Why haven't we, why do you think maybe we haven't seen maybe Zambia police rush in to question Chavinga around the same?
It's because the president is involved. You understand? Let's speak realistically. 2 days ago, after this audio came, plus the press briefing that Chavinga had, where he was threatening to even undertake aggravated robbery against non-senior members of Patriotic Front, purporting, according to whatever dreams he has, that there is some money somewhere that he needs to go and rob. And he was even giving a directive that the police should not get involved. Just that directive to the police that they shouldn't get involved and is threatening violence should have warranted the police to move in quickly and arrest that fellow. Okay? Now, nothing has happened. A senior member of PF, MCC Kibombo, and another senior member in Tonse, Right Msoma, and others went to Central Police to see Mr. Nkwani, the DCIO, the man who's in charge of criminal investigation in Lusaka province. The reception they got there was nothing that somebody would really expect from a professional police officer.
Did they get? What reception
It
did
had
they get?
to now take the honorable colleagues to resort to writing to the Inspector General of Police to articulate what their grievances are. And I can tell you that they expected the response from IG and the police because of their lack of professionalism. And obviously we understand they are being interfered with. People have been fired from the police service on political lines just for being professional. You understand? This Mr. Musamba will not have the courage to arrest Chavinga. He will give an excuse and say, no, yes, I'm IG, but you can't report to my office, go to a police station. You understand? I want to believe that even the DCIO, that Mr. Nkwani, could have been using that excuse.
Do you
But
think?
when it comes to opposition, the opposite is true. This Mr. Nkwano, DCIO, he even threatened to arrest those who were planning to, who had gone to report.
Do you think if State House, if the president was not involved in that audio for Honorable Chavinga, do you think Honorable Chavinga would have been picked up by now if the president was very innocent?
Listen, it's not just the president. Anything that involves UPND members or sympathizers is tolerated by the police. Okay? We have had young people, youths who are in school, just for using social media to criticize this government. 2 girls in Chipata said, leave the body of ECO alone. Why move Nisisa Mubiri? and all that. They were arrested for what was said seditious practice. They have been sentenced to over 2 years imprisonment, 24 months or 26 months. Another 1 year and some months. You understand?
I need to see that post.
You have, UPND cadres and officials in Northwestern Province who had a press briefing threatening violence against a former head of state, stating that if Edgar Lungu came to Northwestern Province, we will, circumcise him, we will teach him manners. None of those, even when there were reports, was arrested. Chavinga, this is not the first time he has found himself, in bad light with the law. Reports have been given. Nothing has happened. Even this, the UPND would try and talk here and there. There will be nothing that will happen to Chavinga because Chavinga is a tool in the hand of the UPND and their president.
Before we add in the public, how do you think this affects Zambia's diplomatic relations with South Africa?
The mere fact that there is, first of all, it exposes the president, exposes us as Zambians, suggesting that it is the rule of the game. When there is a matter in court and you are in office, it is expected that you interfere with the judiciary. But as it were, what has been in South Africa is a different ballgame because the appointment, ratification of those who apply to be judges is in public domain. And if they are involved in any corruption, it warrants them losing their offices. So the situation is a little different. But as it were, I want to say that the mere fact that they also sued the Minister of International Relations over a matter which is supposed to be between government and the family, to drag the government into it, is a diplomatic scandal in itself. So it affects our diplomatic relations. And we think that the government should be able to refrain. The unfortunate part is that the UPND, the way they respond to the opposition, they don't pay attention to what they are saying. When they just hear that Nakacinda is on the radio, they gun up to come and insult and rubbish what you are saying. One of the reasons why we speak as opposition, why it is called checks and balances, is that we expect those one government to be patient and to have a thick skin, to listen what we are saying so that they can correct where the wrong has happened. You cannot just deem everything that is said by the opposition to say it is out of malice. What we are saying here, as robust as it may be, it is meant for this country to put corrective measures for the sake of this country to be able to make progress.
An audio that suggests that a judge should be bribed for him to make decisions, towards the powers. Do you think it may give pressure to the judge to be able to put out a judgment that may make him, that may not implicate his name?
Listen, that's not the issue. The issue, let's talk about the fact that what does it say about our own judiciary? The one that should be worried about that audio is Chief Justice Mumba Madida. If these characters would have the audacity of attempting to do such a thing in a foreign land, what would they do here? What does it say to the case for which I was taken to court for calling to stop Misaka Indechirema to interfere with the judges and the judiciary? And somebody decided to pronounce that I was guilty of an offense. Now the revelations are even getting more clearer that rot is even being exported to South Africa. That is basically the situation.
There's a number on the screen. You could use it and be able to share your contributions. And if you have any questions for the PF Secretary General, Mr. Raphael Nakacinda, you could actually give us that call live wherever you are watching us from. Hi there, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Happy.
Hello.
Happy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. Your name, sir?
This is Derek.
Come again?
Honorable Nakacinda. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I missed your name, sir. Come again?
Derek.
Derek, okay. Derek, please go ahead.
Yes. Comrade, it is very welcome you to continue talking about Chavinga when the Honorable has decided that you don't have to talk about it. They have got no, you have got no other thing that you can talk about. But this is the propaganda that is being done. Chavinga is being fought right since arrest by the same PF. So for them, it's the phone on their neck. So whatever is happening, and we are expecting more things to come out. Poland is in Chavinga because abagwira pamkosa. Whatever is happening, my brother, wamene mumbere kama audio hivyo, ima propaganda yao wamene walipangao. The person we must ask about the audio.
Nwandani wachosa propaganda, nwandani wapanga propaganda.
Wamene wanabireta the audio hivyo, ndio wapita propaganda. Ask them, those are the people that need to tell us where they got that audio. Ndio wapika kuchunguza, not us starting saying, let us see, we just have to ask about the people, the same people that brought that audio, to tell us where they got it and who they took it from.
Okay, tieni tinkale na conversation kaile. Conversation mfunika makamba nani na kufunza. So monga kuli imwe ni opinion mandana nifuni kufunza bali audio eja.
Wamene wanaileta, the first people who leaked that audio, they are the one who knows where they got it.
Oh, you don't like the fact that it exposes people. You don't like the content, but you want us to talk about who brought it. You don't like
the one who brought it is the one who knows where he got it.
But discussing is wasting time. But now we should just go and. So, what question should we ask the people who gave us the audio? Maybe we hear from you.
Let them tell us where they got it from and who did that audio. Not us that saying boys here the people who brought that audio out, they are the people who need to tell us where they got it from.
Okay, Munachi Sakuchi audio is more important than the impact of the contents of the audio.
Because we know that people can come up. There's people that do imitate people voices. There's people that AI in this area. So we want those people who brought out that audio to tell us where they got it and who made that audio.
Okay. Thank you very much for coming.
You see, my brother, why you paying now, Papa Kalama?
Come down, Honorable. What is that word? What does that mean?
Now, Papa Kalama. Ask me, Mazu, tell you. They are holding a hot potato which they can't touch, and to that effect, they are busy, crying around and so on, to try and place the burden on those who expose the audio. I think it is a misplaced position and notion. Let us just answer the critical question: is this criminality acceptable or accepted, that it could even emanate from the highest office of the land, as reviewed by Chavinga? That's the question.
There's a number on the screen. Please, you could give us a call, and if you have any contribution or any question towards the PF Secretary General, Mr. Raphael Nakacinda, you could actually give us a call and forward the question, and of course he'll be here. Honorable, what should the Electoral Commission of Zambia do to guarantee a free and fair election come 2026?
Wow. First of all, we should have Madam Zalumis Magdalena Chipenzi and Kasaro on moral grounds be removed from that. We need reforms that start with personnel. Mangala Zalumis is UPND, McDonald Chipenzi is UPND, and therefore these must be, first of all, not even be at ECZ. But more importantly, I think we have to appeal to other stakeholders to take keen interest with what is happening at ECZ and in Zambia, insofar as electioneering and presiding over these elections is concerned. And as we begin to prepare towards 2026, we already know that there's a machinery that has been deployed to be able to, rig elections in advance, and their test drive is through these by-elections. But I think what is even more critical is to strengthen the process concluding.
You just said something very strong there, and I would like more information for people that may be interested. You believe there's machinery that is being deployed to rig the 2026 election in advance?
Well, there are allegations. To that effect.
Okay. Are there some things that you've personally seen that are pointing to that?
Yeah, I mean, when I look at Lumezi and how the elections were conducted, you could tell that there's something fishy about this situation. When the ballot papers, for example, have come with errors where there's only one name for one competing, candidates, the process must be that you suspend the elections and have a proper collective correction measures around the ballot papers, and they must be inspected. You can't, even when there was enough time, because it's provided for that 90 days after declaration of a vacancy, you have the elections. There's going to be another week or two, provided for people to do what? To change, to change the ballot papers and be able to inspect them. But within 24 hours or less than 48 hours, new ballot papers are presented in Umez without inspection on all that. What happened? Those questions, align with the allegations.
Did you, as the opposition, ask the questions to the...
Questions were raised.
This is it?
They were raised, including the fact that the ballot papers were being transported, to Lumezi by chopper, where Madam Mwangara-Zaromis was also flying together with the political advisor to the president, Levi Ngoma. All those issues were raised. How can a participating political party have a representative alone to accompany the ballot papers and not other stakeholders? You understand? Those are all questions that border on the integrity of the process. But I think what is more important, where I wanted to go, is that we need further reaffirmment and strictly, have a commitment that when Mr. Hakainde Hichilema loses power, he's going to concede defeat. There is a strong view and allegations that is coming from different people that is also gunning and preparing that you not accept defeat. So starting from today, we must begin to campaign that whoever is going to participate in this election and they don't make it, including Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, they must be prepared to concede defeat. It is a virtue and commitment that guarantees that prior, during, and after the elections, the peace of this country will continue. It is the vow which Edgar Chagwa-Lungu, may so rest in peace, lived up to and fulfilled in 2021. That commitment we are asking Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to make, that when he doesn't make it in 2026, is he going to concede defeat, or he will choose bloodshed over the peace of this country? Wonderful. Edgar Chagwa-Lungu chose peace over bloodshed. That level of patriotism is what we are expecting and are demanding of HH when we go to 2026.
Wonderful. As I let you go, Honorable, why should the youth and the first-time voters trust the PF again when many feel the party failed them during the last time in power?
We have corrected our mistakes. The first thing we did after losing power was go for a retreat. We went across the country, spoke to different stakeholders, and they were candid enough in terms of our areas of weakness. And that report has sat before us. We have put corrective measures. The pronouncements we are making today are also as a result of the sum total of what the Zambian people said then and are saying to us today. Experience is the best teacher. What Zambia has not benefited from is the benefit of having people who have failed before, correct themselves, and they come and be able to provide leadership, benefiting from their own mistakes, their own experiences, and the mistakes of those who are in government. When we look at the mistakes of UPND and the fact that of experience of having been in government, we can tell where the UPND are messing up. We can tell where the loopholes are in terms of resource is. And therefore, when we come, it's an issue of sealing those loopholes and be able to make sure that all the resources for which the Zambian people are just demanding basic things allow us to enjoy our stay in our country and benefit from the wealth that God gave us as a people. Don't prioritize foreigners, prioritize us. PF is a people's movement. We prioritize the poor. For us, this is a movement for the poor. This is a movement for the ordinary people. Young people, your future is guaranteed within PF, because in PF, you are not going to just be watching. You are going to be participants. Mr. Sata entrusted leadership to both the old, the young, and the upcoming. Edgar Chagarungo was even more elaborate in that regard, because he entrusted young people to hold even high, offices of, ministers, PSs and DCs and so on, youths who we can point you to. Some of them have even become members of parliament today. The Kangombes of this world, the Binuang Pundus of this world, we can name them. They are all a product of the mentorship and practical involvement of young people in leadership. And we think that policy we even have to amplify. Beyond that, it is the recognition of the uniqueness and the value that women bring to the table. It's PF that appointed the first vice president in Madam Inongawina. When you look at the cabinet of Mr. Sata and the cabinet of Edgar Chagarungu, women were more prominent. Remember, Mr. Sata appointed the first IG woman, as IG in the police. And there are many other women that were appointed in the army and other places. So the value of women, the value of youths, we have a track record. Moving forward, you participate. You are not voting for a political party you're going to watch in government. You're voting for a political party you're going to work with and participate in the governance of this country. And that's a promise we're making.
When you look at the current government, who maybe in the top 5 officials that you think are abusing the authorities right now?
Well, that one we may have to answer another day. For today, let's examine, interrogate Chawinga's revelations. They are very critical. We can only but wish Misaka in the Ichilema is, to have a bit of courage and face his demon and deal with the issues. Those around him in office, those he's associating with, because the quality of associates speaks of you. We shall know you by the friends you keep. Mr. Chawinga is a standard of the type of leader we have in HH, because that's his associate.
Come your convention, after the burial and you go to the convention, if someone popular comes not from the PF, are you accepting that fact?
You are asking a question that in the first place, anybody that would participate within a club must be an associate or member of the club. So for those who see that they want to participate in the process of Patriotic Front, the Secretary General is telling you that there will be a transparent process. This is the time to make up your mind. You can't be sitting and hiding in some cocoon somewhere there, hoping that by osmosis on the last day you find yourself. That will not happen. You have to make bold, open the declaration. We have heard some people are saying Edgar Lungu endorsed us. Me, I've been endorsed by Edgar. We have told them both in person, and I'm also repeating now. The issue of trying to post and present yourself that I was endorsed by EC, I want to tell you, I was the Secretary General chosen by him. I had intimate political conversations with ECL over the future of PF and so on. He never had a policy of wanting to endorse anybody. He said, I came as a people's leader, and the one who succeeds me must be a people's person. Such things as endorsement, were not, Edgar Lungu's philosophy.
I want to go straight to the conversation. KBF, was he anywhere mentioned by Edgar Lungu to say, I would like him to take over the party?
No, never. But if you are asking me to comment on my elder brother KBF in relation to what he said, our answer is that we can't argue against what he claims was a private conversation. But if he was endorsed, well, we wish him well with the endorsement. He can proceed to stand. He's a leader of a political party. So if he was endorsed with that endorsement privately, he can proceed to offer himself for leadership. He's running a political party called Zambia Must Prosper. And, that's how
happy would you be if people said Tasira can replace?
No, I think now you are drawing me into discussing personalities. And it's not in my place as Secretary General to start discussing personalities. I can only but discuss a process. Because personalities will come at a later stage when we open this all up. And for me to discuss, Tasira, who clearly is mourning and so on, it would be, I think, not proper. Even if it wasn't Tasira, as Secretary General, I can't start now selecting this one, if it's this one, if it's that one. Then my office will be drawn into an immoral stance that I cannot hold this thing together, because I've already been drawn into partisan arrangements. Personalities.
I hear you. Is there anything you would like to say as we come to a close, Honorable?
Thank you for holding me, and I know you enjoyed our discourse. You would have loved that we go for another 3 hours. But
Yes.
I'll have the 3 hours over coffee with you. God bless.
Thank you very much. We've been having a conversation with Honorable Raphael Nakacinda. He is the Patriotic Front Secretary General. And of course, I hope you have enjoyed the program. Until next time, this has been Jackson Perry on Schuster's House.